Brother, I'm going to tell you, the books that we are reading in the United States of America are being touched and tampered with more than one time, from 1666, when the Pope started getting these things out here for us, to keep us confused and to keep us walking around in circles so that we would never know what our real truth is. Now, if you talk about Mary and Joseph and you talk about the truth is this: if Mary and Joseph had a child, the child would be Joseph's child. That's one. Jesus in the Bible, the first one is a European man, a blonde hair, blue eyed one that they were trying to make God, so everybody would start following him, and everybody would start believing that a white Jesus was going to come and save them, to keep the slaves in line, to make the slaves follow the white man and to do what the white man said. And then there was the real Jesus, who was a black king, came from the lines of the tribes of Judah, the 12 tribes that was coming from King David. King David being his great-great-grandfather, both Mary and Joseph's great-grandfather. So either way of the direction, he would have still been King David's great-great-grandson, which at that time period you were to marry your cousin, because they stayed within the tribes. They didn't go outside of the tribes and marry some other people that, like Europeans. They didn't do that. So if you would sit back and think about it, they were trying to break up a black story and make a black family fall apart so that the white man could have his power and control over our minds. And if you look and you search the history, you will find that many times over they have been doing so. So if you think that you're thinking, oh well, Joseph was not Mary's father, no, Joseph was not Jesus's father, and Mary was Jesus's mother, they had a baby out of the sky. Now, if you're going to go into that, then you're going to sit back and say to yourself, okay, well, if I'm going to do that, then I might as well do this whole thing really good and just say that he came down from the sky from UFO, and UFO, it went into the belly of Mary, and then Mary had a baby, and baby looked like he was who he was. And if you never know, back in those days, if you didn't look like your father, they doesn't point this out, that don't look nothing like Joseph. It don't look nothing like Joseph. Now, how you going to tell me that that's Joseph's son? That little boy don't even look like Joseph, don't even sound like Joseph. Yo, the people back then were even more judgmental because they didn't have DNA. Somebody would have pointed that out. That no, Joseph could not have been Jesus could not have been Joseph's son, because he didn't look nothing like Joseph. And then Mary would have been stoned to death for having sex with somebody else, and Joseph would have got in trouble for claiming that child. So, brother, I'm not really worrying about that story there, first of all. But you just got to sit back and analyze this. It was the white man trying to make the people worship a white Christ that came from a virgin birth, which would have consisted of ending up being a son that was just of God. But then you don't realize that we are gods. God made us in his image and his likeness to look like him, to look like them. It says, let us make man in our image and our likeness, male and female, we make them. Didn't say I, he said we. So, yo, have a good night, man. I'm not even mad. I'm just sitting here cooling out, watching YouTube and listening to some of these videos. And I caught yours, and it was pretty decent as far as that part. It was something for me to say. So have a good night, and God bless wherever you are.